Peace reflection. We're gonna get going a little bit. We're gonna let a couple of people get in the room. Kind of a little chilly today, but started raining, but we still came out. What's good, Ronald? Ron, man, long time. Reggie, Paul. We're gonna get in on the mechanics of the mind. The ever elusive mind. However, before I get into the mind, we're going. Is important, Jesus. It's important that we study epigenetics, which is the genes, how the genes are controlled by one's environment. You have to get an understanding of that. You can epigenetics. Dr. Lipton. I say Dr. Lipton because, you know, if you have a melanated brother like myself telling you this shit, you ain't gonna believe it. So you're gonna have to go and verify with the he's a biologist for like 40-something years on this subject. So you know, here's the backup. So you can go ahead and do a little research, and you'll see how actually your environment controls your genes. So you can have a cancer gene and it could never get read. However, if you put yourself in a low vibration environment, then it'll thrive, right? So, and most of it is actually what you're eating. It is the quality of the 4 qualities, elements that you're receiving. You ain't receiving oxygen. Your brain, your interpretation of your environment works off of oxygen. Water has oxygen as well, and I don't even think anyone knows what freaking tasted any real water when they're living in a simulated environment like Babylon. So we have to get that straight, because those elements is what is what the mind needs to have a proper interpretation of the signals that it's receiving. So that as well, you have to know what melanin is. Yeah, man, you need to hear this. Sit down, sit back, hear this. And you know what? Hit me up. If you got any questions, Ron, just hit me up. All right? And so, because most of us are outside of our natural environment, we ain't receiving the natural elements that we need. Sunlight. You got to know what melanin is. Melanin is a superconductor of electricity, and it's has high intelligence. It's the molecule that everyone is looking for now. This is what the lower self, the European mind, is harvesting, right? Because you have a sun cycle that's coming in, and for them to survive in that sun cycle, they don't want to get in tune with nature, so they're going to want to sidestep nature again, and they're going to harvest melanated people for their melanin, because melanin is $350 in the market right now, per gram. Talking about the dope game, these motherfuckers are harvesting your ass, right? So we're gonna get this going, and so it starts off when you realize what a cell is, right? You find out that you have trillions of cells that make up your one cell, right? And in each cell you have what's a nucleus inside of that cell, right? And that nucleus holds the DNA. DNA is a blueprint of the universe. It has all the information that's passed on from mother to mother to mother, and it has all the information in it that we can tap into. You're all-knowing being. However, you need these elements, and you need your proper environment to activate it, right? And so now since the body as well is one big cell, and so in that one big cell you have your heart. Your heart is the nucleus. In the nucleus, you know, it holds DNA, and it's the first organ that is produced when the baby's in the womb, and then everything else extends out, including the mind. So the mind is an extension of the heart, as explained by the master teacher, Nature Boy. So actually, is your heart, right, that pulsates and makes cells up and produces all the other organs, and it receives messages from the environment, and it sends it to the mind. You follow? So the real control is the heart. The heart is the mind. And so your whole nervous system is the mind. Your body is the mind, you're the mind. And you want to know more how your mind works. Your mind is projecting a holographic world out. And so you're seeing what's inside of your mind. Because you're inside your mind. Let me put it that way. You're saying all we're inside of our body, well, your body is the mind. So you're inside your mind. Right? So you want to know the mechanics of how your mind works. Because actually, by thoughts, you create your reality. And you're doing it every day. Oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this. You know, I got to do this, I got to do. So you're creating your reality every time you wake up. However, somebody got to that mind before you came up. While you was in the Pampers, you've been programmed. Your subconscious has been programmed with the school program, television program. Everything's a program. That's why they call it program. The housing project is a program. We're going to put them all here, let them all live together. We're going to put a liquor store on that corner, you know, some Popeye's chicken on that corner. And when you eat the animal, right, you're eating the genes of that animal. So epigenetics shows you how through the ribosome they connect, and actually your thoughts are mixed in with these animals and so forth. But that's another topic. I mean, we'll get to that too as well. So you figure out that you have trillions of cells inside you, and you're projecting your reality outside, and you figure out that you have planets and you have the sun, and you figure out your body is a universe as well. It has the sun at the solar plexus, and each gland is a planet, right? So you say, shit, oh shit, everything is in fractals. We are the same, but we parts of each other. And then we express that through our astrological energy, because when you look at the universe, right, you see it's the same diagram of your body. Right, so now you see how your bodies work. Now you see, now you're projecting outside of yourself what's inside. And so when you study astrology, you're studying your own energies. And so you're studying astrology, you're studying your own energy, you're studying yourself, you're studying your mind. And then you say, oh, there's 12 planets, you have 12 signs, right? 12 houses. However, when you do the adding up, there's 9 planets, and there's discrepancies about who you speak to, about what's the other 3 planets, you know, to make up the 12. So there's more information that we still have to learn, right? Because astrology was our science, right? So you can know thyself. That's the quickest way. That's how you know thyself, is know the energies that you possess, right? When you was in the womb, in the mother's womb, and during the months, each month, right, is a planet, a personality, and that's where you get your personality. You could read this. We left it written on the walls. We left this information written on the wall, so when you come back, so you can know yourself, especially in the information age where everything is put on the internet. You could actually research. Before, everything was hidden in the libraries. Nobody had the time to go to the library. You know, they get you in a 24-hour system where you can't go to the lot. You know, you don't have time to do the research, right? So, but we're going to get back to that. And so, everything is mental. And so you start saying, hey, okay, the universe, I got to send you some of my solar plexus. And
yep, we can hear you.
I have these planets. You have your third eye and your pineal gland, and they work together, right? So
all right, I'll let him know.
you say, hey, an atom, what are these organisms made of? They're made up of molecules, and molecules are made up of atoms. So you start studying an atom. And when you look at an atom, right, so it's funny how the first man is named Adam. When you look at an atom, right, and then it has a proton, an electron, and a neuron, right? And you find out that the proton and neuron is close together. The neuron has an ion element, right? So when this spark happens, right, it pushes. It has the proton is a pushing force. So the electrons start to rotate because it's held in order by the gravitational pull, right, by the ion and the positive negative charges. So that positive negative charges is movement. And you notice how the proton is protein, right? You got to take this and you got to apply it to your body, right? So it's protein that causes movement. And what controls this protein is your environment. And if you don't got the right environment, then the movement of your mind is not going to work. So, that's how it spins, right? Hold up, let me hold this straight. That's how it spins. It's called positive, negative charges, centripetal, and centrifugal forces. If you want to look it up in the science world, right? Egypt, masculine and feminine energies. Thoth, Dehuti. In the Aramic world, it was Melchizedek. In the Sufi world, it was Al-Kut, the green one. And you notice how the green one is nature. In the Christian world, it was called the angel Michael. When shit is out of tune, when these atoms, right? The atoms, to be in balance, the atom picks up electron. Proton, electron, neuron, right? They all pick one up. You know, ratio is 1 to 1. Every time they pick one up, right, the electron, it balances out with the proton and the neuron, right? So it got a balance. And it's funny how when you get 12 electrons, right, 12 protons and neurons, what do you have? What's that? That's magnesium. You know what's magnesium? Magnesium is the molecule that's in nature. The trees, the stuff that gives you oxygen. That's the only difference between us and the tree is the molecule. They have magnesium, we have iron. So we have a direct relationship with nature, right? And nature is your mind. So what the lower self does is disconnect us from nature, puts us in a concrete environment, the concrete jungle, like they call it, and have us out of tune with our own self. It's a mutation, their mutation of ourselves. And I'll go into that later, of the cosmic mutation. It came the other night, man. Hey, that's how it comes. How the cosmic mutation happened. Well, yeah. Blood, how blood is important on how your body vibrates. You're supposed to have pure blood. You ain't supposed to be mixing it with any animal blood. You ain't supposed to be eating animals. You're supposed to be eating light from the sun, fruits, food that grow from the process of photosynthesis from the ground. That's energy. That's what your biological supercomputer needs, because what your body does is you receive and emits consciousness. Okay? You're supposed to be receiving consciousness that's emitted actually from your cells, and you're supposed to interpret it, right? Your interpretation is your astrological energy. That's why we're like, hey, look, go into a cafe astrology. You know, you got a lot of these free sites. You want the best. You want to pay for one, is the better in depth one. You go to tarot.com. You go to that, and it explains to you how your Mercury is. Your Mercury is your intellect. How Mercury wants to be in a what is it, a earth sign. You know, and it explains your Venus, how your heart is. A lot of people have fucked up heart. You like, dad, if I knew that motherfucker was like that, I wouldn't have been fucking with this nigga. You would have found out his speaking energy. You would have been like, oh, this motherfucker got a fucked up heart. His heart is in what is it's the Venus wants to be in a water sign, right? He might have something somewhere else, some something more grounded, and you know what, he just ain't fucking, or she just ain't, doesn't feel like that. You're disconnected with feelings. You be like, damn, this motherfucker cold, or this bitch is cold. She just, you be like, damn. So you have those. You want to know what that is. You want to know your sun sign. Your sun sign is your passion, your will to do. Your moon sign is your intuition. And so you want to know these things and what house it is. And so you can learn a lot about your own self. How your mind works. And if it's debilitated, you be like, dang, I wonder why that shit always happening, The same shit keeps happening, and you keep doing the same thing because your mind is programmed like that. Your subconscious mind, they had our subconscious mind fucked from day one. You're born, and they put in they taking milk out, the mother's DNA, and they putting the DNA of a cow in the baby's mouth with parasites and pus that slows down the mind's vibration because the mind is vibrating. The mind vibrates on a high capacity. However, for the lower self to get control of the mind, they have to slow the mind down and subliminally put in their messages. You go to, they sit your ass in front of a TV, put Barney on, and all this other stupid shit. You think family is the Cosby, and next thing you know, you want a family like the Cosby and shit. So they program in your mind what family is. When actually family is a frequency. It's like you and your boy, your motherfucker, you're tight. All of a sudden, someone gets a little more conscious and shit of what their surrounding is, and you just can't. You try to talk to your boy, who was tight, and all of a sudden he just saying, you like, yo, you know what? I'm talking to this motherfucker, and he's still, he's still talking about bullshit, man. I'm on another, and so the vibration, the frequency changes, and you just don't vibe no more. Yeah, we used to be tight, man, but you think your mind is something else, and his is still on a low vibration, so you just don't get it, right? You just don't click anymore. Now that's what you call vibration. That's what you call family is a vibration. And people say, so okay, well, why do you want to know about the mind? And because the mechanics, because you're creating your reality. Every day you're creating your reality. But we've been in the mind, in the European mind, so we creating his reality for him. So his heaven is your hell. And your heaven is going to be his hell when you get out of there. Because they got shit going down over there, man. And they just poison everybody over there. And so the food, the air, the water is to slow down your body vibration, slow down the mind vibration, so you can't manifest your reality. You can actually manifest your reality when you have hold on. You see what I'm saying? That's what happens when you're dropping some good shit when shit like that happens. That's called a distraction. That happens. We want to talk. I'm just talk a little bit louder, right? Because they ain't gonna stop this shit. You know what I'm saying? A little distraction back there. So they don't want you to use your pineal and pituitary gland to combine, and where you can manifest your own reality. Some people say, hey, show and prove, show and prove. I manifested 90 freaking acres of land, right? Yeah. And you know how much I paid for it? Zero. Yeah. The only thing I put in was to put a fence around the motherfucker. So I'm not just talking just to talk. I know a lot of people talk about, yeah. I'm telling you, yeah. Right. The only shit is, when I got there, it was just me. I was like, damn, I looked to my left. There was nobody to my left, was nobody to my right. And I was like, damn. Shit. That shit is sad when you're up there and you just dolo. You're like, damn. Now I know why God put reflections of himself. That should be a boring shit, dolo. What's the use of getting all this shit and you did dolo? You don't got nobody to laugh with about it and say, you know what? Or why you doing it? So you want to learn how to manifest shit and be up in Babylon, all you're going to do is manifest for Babylon. All you're going to do is manifest the lower self. So why manifest for the lower self? Nah, fuck that shit. Come over here and manifest. Babylon, you're just going to manifest for them. They're already doing that to your ass right now. They're already harvesting melanin, which is dark matter. That's what they're trying to figure out. They were trying to figure out the atom, what's controlling, what's holding the atom, you know, from just falling out of orbit, right? Everything is mathematics. Everything is math. But they want to know what's the controlling force, right? They want to know it because they want to control. They want the control. That's why they study biology. They study biology so they can know how to control you. That's they motive. But a lot of people, they too scared to take that walk. They don't want to know themselves. Too much fear. But they built that shit up from day one. You just got to give them back their shit. Information age, man. You could leave. You think you're gonna work till you retire? Yeah, when I hit 55 or 65, yeah, you know I'm gonna call it a wraps. Boom, and nah, man. In that environment, you're gonna be sick by that time. Oh shit, I got a biopsy. Oh shit, I got this. Oh, I gotta go with this. They already did it. They already did that. You got all these man-made frequencies going around. You got all this electricity. Your body's absorbing that. Your subconscious mind is what you need to reprogram to manifest. Your subconscious mind, because your subconscious mind picked up everything since you was a child. All your trauma. All your trauma is up in there blocking energy from flowing, because that energy wants to flow. You'll call it your chakras, your kundalini. It's your nervous system. Energy wants to flow through your nervous system. And you have certain blockages. You can study your astrological chart and find out what's blocking you, and then what makes you uncomfortable, you fight through what makes you uncomfortable, because usually that's what's blocking you. So you like to do things that makes you uncomfortable, or get put in a position that makes you uncomfortable so you could raise through it. When you're comfortable, you ain't growing. Comfort, there's no growth in comfort. You know what I'm saying? You got to get your money right. You are money. You are energy. Why would you get your money right if you could manifest what you want electromagnetically? Oh, you could be thinking something, right? Oh, I want to. Next thing you know, somebody pops into your reality. Oh yeah, I know how to do so and so. Oh really? I was just thinking that. You do it by accident. Sometimes you think about somebody. I need to call my boy blah blah, right? And then you pick up your phone and you see it's ringing. He already. Matter of fact, you click on it and he's already there. You're like yeah, I was just thinking about you. Blah blah blah. You already did it. You did that mentally. So now, imagine you had that power where you could do that mentally, right? And you so in a negative frame of mind, you're going to be manifesting a negative reality 24/7 in Babylon. Because your subconscious mind, which is your heart, right, receives information from its field. It extends out. You call it an aura. So it receives. Actually, your whole body is a nucleus, and your electromagnetic field, your aura, is the cell membrane, you know, that the spiritual cell membrane, right? So you're receiving this information from the field, and if yours is mixed up with some fuck dude or chick, then you picking up they fucked up energy, you thinking it's you. It's mixing in with your DNA of your heart space. So yeah, you do have to isolate yourself and get to know who you are. So when that energy comes into your space, you be like, yo, that ain't fucking me. Because if you don't know who you are, you could take it as yourself and you be like, yeah, I'm thinking this, and you start making decisions off of somebody else's energy. And then you start manifesting somebody else's reality. It gets like that. It gets tricky like that. And why would you want to manifest? I would like to manifest how to help my other selves get out from that fucking situation out fucking there. From the lower self, the mutation of us, because they don't have melanin, so they can't really interpret fucking nature, and so they have a warped reality, and they got us living their reality. They have us chasing freaking linen and cotton. That's what money's made out of, and thinking that shit is real. And when you have the power to manifest shit yourself, just by thinking. But you gotta be in the right frame of mind. You can't be moved easily by emotions. And yeah, a chick will move your emotion real fast. 20 all the time. She gets you pissed off and then what you thinking about doing to her ass. Boom! And it happens? Nah, you gotta be above that. Your emotions shouldn't be able to move. Sway that easy. So you get tested by the universe before you get revealed certain shit. Cause yeah, you're gonna have to control your emotions. Emotions should be put to the side because that's real. That's subjective. The subconscious mind is subjective, right? And the conscious mind is objective. So they gotta merge, right, together. So both of them do, because both of them could be subjective if it ain't in tune with nature. And Babylon is not in tune. Matter of fact, the signals that one is receiving from the sun, that you receive it in the tropics, because that's where the sun is strong at, and you get vitamin D, UVB rays. Once you move outside of those rays, you get UVA radiation, and that fucks up your cells. So your cells start to mutate. Cells start to mutate, and then enough melanin ain't produced enough where the pineal gland produces DMT, where you can actually go to different realities in your mind, a true reality. That is, so astrology is the mechanics. However, there's a lot more to it because we're only talking about 9 planets. There's 12 planets, and there's really 12. And a lot of people ain't talking about what are the 12. They talk about the asteroid belt. You're gonna tell me the asteroid belt is the 3 planets? The only one who really is explaining the 12 planets, you have to, when you do research, it's going to take you back to the ancient Sumerians. They're the first ones who invented writing, and they documented it, right? And they were in the Mesopotamian area. They were melanated. You have the Egyptians. The Egyptians got theirs, but theirs is Dendora. They call it the calendar of Dendora. That has 36. But anyway, let's keep it simple, right? So yes, we do have to know ourselves, which is the mechanic of the mind, and we are the mind, and you inside your mind, if that makes any sense. And to interpret your reality, you need the 4 major elements, and you're not getting that up in the northern hemisphere. As a matter of fact, they're slowing down your mental vibration. You have a lot of kids going to school. They don't know what the fuck is going on, right? Because you're feeding them milk every freaking day. You're feeding them animal products, which got parasites. Parasites take over your nervous system. So you got to know what the energy you put inside your biological computer. Because it's a biological, it's an organic computer. So you're putting parasites in it, because the lower self is telling you it does your body good. And you like, oh yeah, they said it. It must be true. It must be true. You got to be objective now. You better do some research. Whatever you put into your mouth, you better do some research. Because in order for them to program your mind, they got to slow down the mind's vibration. So they give you certain foods, certain electrical signals. Like the Heart Project now, they got other shit that's fucking with the signals, with your subconscious mind. So you got to put your subconscious, you got to put your mind in a safe environment. And that includes when the alignment of the mind, of the nervous system, right? You'll call it the planets. But actually it's the alignment of the mind of the higher self, where energy could flow straight through. And this is the designated location. A lot of people say Africa, right? Africa's been compromised. Yeah, Africa's the nucleus of the organ of the cell of this organism, Earth, because Earth is a living organism, and we're connected to her. Africa has been compromised since the 1800s during the Berlin Conference, where the mutation, the European mind divided Africa up. That's where you get the word Africa from. It comes from the word Afrikia, which means to divide. So they divided Africa amongst themselves. And now all they got is puppets. You could tell because they put on the tie. And so they still have puppets running the country for them. And then they take the oil, they take the minerals, and now melanin is they're going to use because, matter of fact, they had the technology to make vehicles run off of the Earth's own gravity, electromagnetism of the Earth. But they held that because all they into is in destroying and destruction. They ain't into living in harmony. However, you residing with the Cancer, so the Earth is a living organism that's more intelligent than us. That's why we have to connect our nervous system, our mind, to the mind of the Earth in nature, because she has her electrical magnetic field that once we eat from her, we bathe and drink water from her, then that changes our frequency to the frequency of the Earth. That's how you're immortal, because you're really consciousness. So your consciousness merges with the consciousness of the Earth that's immortal, because nothing in nature dies. So you don't die. But you merge in your mind with the lower self. Yeah, the 12th planet is really, it's in the bed of consciousness, and you have to be prepared. So when the universe is rotating, right, and the central axis, the sun, which all information comes in through, because it's a converter of ether on the other end coming in, right? It converts it into the visible light spectrum, right? So the universe is rotating around the sun, right? And that universe is rotating around a bigger sun, and that goes on, right? However, there's a point where it aligns in a straight line where energy could come straight through a portal, right? Straight through, and it's not bending and doing all of this. So when it receives your beam, you can't interpret it because it's the aspects, the squares are it turned this way and light bent. So you're interpreting it in a different way. And for us to get in tune, right, we have to be in nature, right? Eat from nature. Follow the 7 principles of Thoth and the 42 laws of Ma'at. This is the laws that keeps the atom, right? The atom, the electrons in rotation. The electromagnetic, the laws that keeps that in rotation. And when it gets imbalanced, when you get more electrons than protons, or more protons than electrons, then there's an imbalance. And right now, this planet is an imbalance. And so we are cells on this planet, right? Because you have over trillions of cells inside your own body that's working together through electrical synapses in order so your universe could thrive. So now this planet right here has a virus. It's called Cancer. It plays out as the European mind. And so the European mind has been spreading all over the earth, destroying the earth. And so she knows she's sick, and you're the immune system. This is why we came here. We didn't come here to be a doctor, a lawyer, a police officer, and all that other shit that they made you think you are, which is a false ego. Your astrological energy is your true ego, your true personality. Right? So we're here as the immune system. So we're sending this message out for those that can hear it. Everybody, we know everybody is not going to hear it, right? Because due to their astrological energies, they can't. Mostly because they was born out of tune. Usually sex was done at season. You know how you plant freaking corn or you plant a crop on a certain season, you know, or you plant it out of season, it ain't gonna grow right. So we had astrology to that point where we were like, no, we should do it during the springtime when everything grows. Motherfuckers are procreating in the wintertime when there's not enough light, there's not enough energy coming from the sun to give them the spark. You follow? So we did everything all out of tune. So you have some people here for karmic purposes. So they're gonna have to go through certain experiences, right, until they figure it out. And usually it's some type of pain. They do something, you know, I don't know what happened to me, oh my God. That's because the universe is saying, well, you did it wrong. Then try again. And you do the same thing. Oh, I don't know why this is always happening to me. Hey, look, why don't you see your astrological energy and find out, you know, what's blocking that. And so the universe presents things in patterns. So you'll notice the pattern again. You'll be like, oh shit, that happened before. You know what, I did this, but I ain't gonna do that shit like that. Because last time, shit, that shit hurt my ass. That motherfucker, that trick, excuse me, that, you know, it hurt me. And you know what? She's doing the same thing. With so-and-so I was with did the same thing. That's a pattern. And you gotta love yourself enough to say, you know what, I ain't gonna fuck with that. So yeah. So you are the mind and you are inside your mind. Because the body is the mind. The nervous system. This is an antenna that grows from your nerve. It's connected to your nervous system. Your skin is your first brain. Your skin is your first brain. And you receive other signals from your stomach. So you could say you have two brains. That's that Yakub story. Yakub story, oh, he had two brains. Yeah, we fucking have two brains. Our skin is the first fucking brain, and yeah, your stomach sends messages to you, so you do have two brains. And if you eat fucked up food, then you're going to mutate into the European mind. So it wasn't that he created them, he understood the science of it. That was going to be another download of the Yakub story, because there's some people who talks about the two-brain scientists that created the mutation race or whatever. And what it is, he just knew he had two fucking brains. And he knew that if you eat out of tune, that you was going to mutate into that. So somewhere along the line, they got it mixed up. So I say the time is now. Alignment time comes up. We're supposed to be in our own natural environment. If you look outside and you can't, your food supply comes from miles and miles away, you're not in your right environment. If you got to put on 3 coats, 2 socks, 2 pairs of pants in the wintertime, you're not in your natural environment. If you don't see a coconut tree, you're not in your proper environment. Melanated beings supposed to be in the tropics. We here in Costa Rica, we say the tropics are Cancer, Capricorn from a part of Mexico to Peru. Africa is in a different position right now. People have been talking about Africa. Africa, you have the environment. You know, they just doing a lot of shit over there, and they sold out. They have a lot of droughts. You don't get really water in certain places. Food supply is scarce in certain areas. So they're still able to control your environment. You know, the cancer spread out to a lot of countries. So here we call it the extension of the heart, the mind. That's why certain signals that come in hurricane form, it starts off from Africa, which is the nucleus, the heart, and it comes to the Caribbean. If you notice, that's the pattern of hurricanes. It starts off the coast of Africa. Those are electrical signals. Follow? Those are electrical signals when that hurricane comes off the coast of Africa and heads to Central America, dropping codes off, and then it cuts off and probably disperses in the North American region late, and you getting messages in half codes as well. Lightning is nothing but electrical synapses. That's what cells use to communicate. Lightning, hot and cold meeting, forming clouds and spark, the spark. That's what you are. And when you're able to merge these two master glands and tap into your all-knowing genes, then you put on the mask of God. And then once you got that mask on, what you gonna do? You gonna put on the mask in Babylon, and then what? We're here to help ourselves, because I'm a cell, you a cell, and we're trying to communicate to say, hey, look, you know, the earth has a virus, it has cancer, and the cancer is up in the European mind's territory. You need to get out of there. That's not the front line. You need to move. Oh, I can't do it because, you know, I got this, I got that. Then maybe, you know, you ain't, you know, you wasn't supposed to. But there's some that's going to get the message, and there's some that's going to say, hey, you know what? And they start taking those steps. And we trying to tell you, yo, it's all right. We here. You got Om right there. You got Key over there. We're here.
Peace. Peace.
All we here is saying, yo, you can get the fuck out of there. It's good. It's good. It's all right. The cancer, you don't fight cancer with cancer. You know how you fight cancer? You don't give it your energy. That's how you fight cancer. You get cancer because you're out of tune. You're not receiving the full quality elements that your organism requires. You're mixing your DNA with other DNA of other animals, cows, mutated, genetically modified foods, and so your cells tend to change and mutate because of the energy you're putting in it. And so if you want to kill the cancer, stop eating it. You're eating it. You're feeding off of it. They're using dairy. They're using dairy to slow down the mind's vibration, allowing these parasites that's in these organisms, they're aliens. We call them aliens because they ain't supposed to be in your body. And they just go crazy eating whatever. Follow? So, you know, you leave the cancer. You don't live with the cancer. You leave the cancer. So, you know, when the earth, who's a living being, a living organism, decides to clear the cancer off, you're not in harm's way. All you gotta do is get out of her. You gotta get out of Babylon, get out of her. You follow? So I hope I got through to some that one out there. You know, so If you have any questions, man, hit me up. I want to go into blood. We could talk more about the Yakub, which is actually when you have consciousness of you have two brains, and then you could actually see what is the mutation, how it mutates. Actually, it mutates from your stomach, and actually fear and stress. Your immune system becomes weak under those conditions. So, and you got to protect your subconscious mind from all these negative messages that's being put in it. The negative message, you got to counteract that with positive affirmations. That's why you had Muslims and Buddhism. They had these beads in their hand, whatever, to keep their mind, on focus, and not letting it wander to some other bullshit. You might be in somebody else's space and they got a lot of shit going on in their head, and because of your electromagnetic field, you're pulling that into your being. So you stay focused by, they use certain words, I think the Muslims had like 99 attributes they used to say, just not to, or the Sufis, just to keep their mind focused and not allowing their mind to pick up other signals. And these other exercises, these focusing exercises where you can focus the mind, I want to go into that. That seemed to help. That helped out a lot, because a lot of people do a lot of exercise on their physical bodies, but they don't do exercise for the mind. So we're going to do that the next time as well. So you'll hold tight there, and you'll want to get out. Put in your mind first. Say it over and over and over and over. And if you could visualize it to the detail, like a painter, you know how a painter is very, very, got every detail, that's the best way. And then after that, once you already envision your end game, leave it. Because that goes into quantum physics on manifestation on the observer's effect. When you're not looking, sound waves keep vibrating, it keeps going. However, when you observe it, it solidifies. That's it solidifies. It becomes more difficult, not difficult, but atoms do something else. So we do want you to understand vibration, frequency, melanin, epigenetics, because we're going into quantum physics. And going into quantum physics, if you don't understand this right here, you'll be lost. So we're going to be going over this stuff so you can get it, and repetition, right? So it can start sticking, and then so when we roll into quantum physics, then you're right there, and we don't have to lose anybody, because they ain't understand epigenetics, or they ain't understand astrology, which is a key point in knowing your mind, because astrology is the mind, and you're projecting astrology out from the mind, and it's so you're actually seeing you actually is a reflection of yourself, and you're actually seeing what you're seeing outside is happening inside the mind. So D Voss, what's good? I got you too, D. When you're ready, let me know. Michael, Devon, and everybody else. Hey, share this video, because we need to get this fucking message out, man. So y'all go ahead and share it. I love myself.